Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com here, back today with another price prediction video, this time on Stellar Lumens, which is actually in the spotlight today after a big announcement and some news here, sending the cryptocurrency, its cryptocurrency XLM up over 100%, right? It did drop down now a bit, but it was at one point up over 100% today. So very big news for Stellar Lumens today, and it really put it on the spotlight and back on people's radar. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this one pans out. And I thought that I had to do a price prediction on this. So I'm going to be doing it for 2017/2018. And the time frame that I have in mind is, 6 to 12 months out, right? So getting into some of the fundamentals here, just really quickly for people who aren't aware of Stellar Lumens. Basically, their subreddit is pretty active, over 4,000 readers, a lot of people online right now. It's going to grow a lot, and it got a lot of attention after this news. If you take a look at the website, they're very professional. They're actually a nonprofit, and I really like their sort of the first sentence here on their website. Stellar is a platform that connects banks, payment systems, and people. And what I really like about this is that they don't forget people, right? And they don't forget consumers, because a lot of these cryptocurrencies just completely neglect the actual end user, right? Which is people, I guess. And I find that to be, a bit problematic if they're not even thinking about that, because at the end of the day, that's really who they should be focusing on, since, they're making a cryptocurrency. And Stellar is not forgetting them, but they're also working with banks. So, they sort of are filling in all the necessary gaps, right? And not forgetting anyone. Stellar reminds me a lot of Ripple in certain ways, just off their banks and payment processing stuff. I think if I'm not mistaken, the team that founded Stellar is actually a ex-Ripple. So I'm not 100% sure on that, but if I'm not mistaken, that's the case. And it makes sense. There's definitely some resemblances. But I think Stellar might even have some advantages in certain ways. So that's something to look into, right? But I'm not going to make this video about a Stellar versus Ripple. That's not the point. But basically, just to go over the news today, what made it go up so much. IBM basically partnered with Stellar to work with banks for payment processing and stuff across borders. And I'm not going to get into the details, but basically, this is big news, right? Whenever a big brand name company partners with a cryptocurrency, it really validates the company's, the cryptocurrency's mission and stuff. And, it adds a lot of value, knowing that someone like IBM is working with Stellar. That's a big thing, right? We saw it with Omisego and McDonald's and stuff. It really does, validate the cryptocurrency. So it's going to probably send it much higher in the upcoming months. I'm not going to lie. Now, like I said, I'm not going to get into the details of this, but basically that's all you need to know, right? You can look into it if you want to get the details. But, like I said, they're really professional. They're working on everything. They're very developer focused. They seem like they know what they're doing. I have no doubt that these guys are upstanding. And, basically everything looks good on a... If you take a first look, there's nothing really to worry about, on a fundamental level. They're doing good work, and IBM saw that and partnered with them. Pretty straightforward. Now, as far as actual price goes, for the price prediction and sort of the numbers here, let me run you through a couple of things. So first of all, if we go back here to the main page, let's see. Stellar Lumens is currently ranking number 16, right, with a market cap of 610 million. So it's been rising pretty significantly now for a while, and I mean, yeah, it basically got its big break, right, a big boost now. So that's going to be something to pay attention to, see if it can actually move into this top 10 ranking, which is, of course, possible. And I'm going to get into that in a bit, but let's go back here and let me mention, so massive volume, right, bunch of money poured into this over the past 24 hours. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see how the volume acts in the next couple weeks. But, supply-wise, this is the only thing that I'm not a big fan of Stellar Lumens. It has a really big supply, and I'm not a massive fan of supplies that are huge. But, I guess I'll forgive it because, obviously, IBM partnered with them and everything. And, I do understand that maybe I feel like payment processing-focused cryptocurrencies do have bigger supplies, and, there's a reason for that. So it makes sense in a certain way, but it's not the best thing. anyways, getting to the chart here, it's looking pretty good, pretty interesting. So obviously, Stellar Lumens entered back in August 2014, right? Very flat price action, didn't really do much. Had its blast off back in, about April 2017, and just exploded up to its all-time high, which was, let's see, about a little over 60 cents, or sorry, 0.06 cents. So, this is still in the pennies here. And, I'm going to get into a little bit more detailed technical analysis in a second here. But, yeah, let me see, just to make sure that I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so 0.07 was its all-time high, if I'm not mistaken, right? Around that range. So that's going to be a level to pay attention to, see if it can hit that in the next couple months. But, basically what happened was, it had a massive spike, then a crash. And, it wasn't looking pretty, to be honest, but it completely recovered, now after this big breakout, right? That broke, a multi-month long resistance level that was at about, 2.3 cents, right? So 0.02 cents, right? So that was a big breakout over here, and it did face some resistance. I'll move over now to the more detailed chart. It actually went up all the way to 0.062, so just under its all-time high. And that's interesting, Now, what we'll have to see is, will it be able to hold this gain, right? And, it could always pull back to sort of this support level over here, right? The 0.25, if it wanted to take a breather and stuff. That's definitely going to become a major support level now, even higher, to be honest, now that it moved up probably around 0.35 or something like that. But basically, I think that we can see it, really test and maybe go above its all-time high in the next 6 to 12 months. That's going to be my sort of price prediction here for Stellar Lumens. It's completely reasonable and doable for something of this nature, right? And, I've seen, big price explosions in cryptocurrencies and in stocks, and the price action that follows. And, it can honestly go multiple ways, right? Of course, after a big gain like this, there could be a sell-off and it could drop back down. It looks like it's holding up pretty well right now. So, the problem is I can't really give a good time frame on this, because it could retest its all-time high, which I think it will. It could do that like tomorrow. It could do it in the next couple of days, in the next week, or it could do it in a couple months, right? But like I said, I think it will happen in the next, probably 6 months, So that's going to be something to pay attention to. Now, for the shorter term, maybe a bit of flat price action, but it's still in a very explosive / breakout stage, right? So like I said, anything could happen. Now, for an actual price here, if we have to look at, I think, some of the other cryptocurrencies, to see where it could be heading, right? So, I feel like if things do pan out and, it gets another boost here towards its all-time high, I think that currently, I should mention, it's at 0.03. So, to be honest, I feel like this could, get a nice 100% gain, get into this maybe near or even in the top 10 ranking, right? I think that, it could be at least in the, maybe around the 12th spot here in the next couple months for sure, right? And that would bring it up to around, give or take, right, depending on what the market does, 1.2 billion in market cap. So, that's going to be a 100% increase right there. Could it go higher than that? Yes, but at that point you do have to start thinking of, there's going to be, there's going to be resistance levels. We want to see it obviously break past the 0.07, like I said, and then, see how it can hold all these massive gains, because this is going to be a very big price increase. People bought around here, that's going to be a 700% increase. So there will be profit taking. There's no doubt about that. But in the short term, it looks good. Want to see it hold its gains. Hopefully not fall below 0.025, like I said, right? Make sure we want to hold that level. That would be bad if it drops below that. But otherwise, if it's slow and steady or even just trading flat, I think eventually in the next couple months it will get another boost. Could happen sooner rather than later, but 0.07 and then probably break across that. Basically, if it breaks past 0.07, it could move towards $1, and that might be probably the highest that it could go, I would say, in the next 12 months would be $1. Sorry, I'm messing up the numbers here. I meant, what I meant was 10 cents, not a dollar. Because yeah, like I said, we are in the pennies with this one. So 10 cents would be the highest that I could see it going in the next 12 months, just because that would be a really big resistance level, and it would take a lot for it to break past that. But that's still a massive increase, and it's going to be one to look out for. A lot of potential with this one. Now I would be interested to see, can this be sort of like a next Ripple in the making? If it is the case, I mean, look at where Ripple is, almost 10 billion right now in market cap. So something to pay attention to. A lot of potential with this one. Just have to kind of wait and see what happens now. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of making price predictions when there's been such a massive price increase, but I think it's necessary with this one. And yeah, so just to reiterate, I think about 100% increase in the next 6 to 12 months. Probably a peak of 10 cents is possible. And, like I said, it's just going to be a matter of time now and see what happens, see how it can hold its gains. But, like I said, could be a next Ripple in the making. So let me know what you think of Stellar Lumens. Do you like this cryptocurrency? Where do you think it's heading? I'd be interested to hear that. Otherwise, everyone, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I appreciate you watching, and have a nice day.